Hola chicos, today we're going to be talking about the future and conditional tenses, el futuro y el condicional. This I'm hoping is going to work this time. I'm just starting over from scratch and let's just keep our fingers crossed. These two tenses, I will win the lottery, and when I do, I will have Rick design me a big huge castle in Italy, and I will buy a Chevy Impala and fix it up, and then I will fly in a jet with the angels. Conditional tenses would be I would win the lottery, I should have a house designed for me, I could buy a Chevy Impala, and I would ride in a jet. So the near future we have already discussed. You know this very well. You've learned this in Spanish 1 and 2. You should be well versed in this. This is the ir plus a plus the infinitive. Por ejemplo, yo voy a comer. Tú vas a beber. Él va a manejar. Nosotros vamos a practicar los deportes, etc. Okay? So you have a part of the verb ir plus a plus the infinitive. That's I'm going to do something or you're going to do something. Here's a little bit of practice. You do not have to do these practices in your notebooks, just so that you see what the English looks like. Simple future, this is our new material that we're going to cover. The simple future allows you to talk about what will happen in the future. This is a super easy tense to remember because guess what? These endings get applied to the entire infinitive for AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. All three sets of verbs. You take the whole entire verb and then you plunk these endings on. Please make sure that you note nosotros is the only one that does not have an accent on the top. The others do. It's a mix of AR verbs and IR verb endings. So some examples here. We've got estudiaré el chino. I will study Chinese. Not I'm going to, but I will. Él o ella viajará por todo el mundo. He or she will travel around the world. Trabajaremos con niños. We will work with children. So this, anytime you're going to take the whole verb, you're going to add your ending on, that is the future tense. Here are your practice sentences in your notebooks. I had you leave space for sentences 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'd like you to write down those examples. Please make sure you've highlighted your verb tenses in your notebooks. So for example, this first one, I will go to France for vacation. Yo iré a Francia para vacación. And we'll come down here and just say, let's do number 9. In 2 years, we will graduate. En 2 años, nosotros graduaremos. So you take the whole verb, graduar, and you add hemos onto the end of it. So make sure you've done 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in your notebooks. Of course, it's not complete without a few irregulars. So the root of these irregulars right here are going to be underlined, and those are the roots that you are going to use for all conjugations of these verbs, not just the yo forms. So if I wanted to say he will fit, I would say él cabrá. If I wanted to say we will be able to, nosotros podremos. So it's P-O-D-R for the root, and then you add your appropriate ending on depending on who your subject is. So we've got caber, to fit. This is a new verb for you. Yo cabré, I will fit. Poner, to put. Yo pondré, pon with an N right there. Do you see the N here? The N here. Over here for poder, there is no N. That's the only letter that separates those two verbs. So please make sure you pay attention to that. So I will put yo pondré. I will say yo diré. It will be habrá. You guys have heard the song. Que será, será, whatever will be, will be. Well, that is this tense that we're talking about right here. So we've got ser, the whole verb. A, será, it will be. Yo saldré, S-A-L-D-R, is your root. Yo haré, I will do or make. Yo podré, I will be able to. Yo tendré, I will have. Yo vendré, I will come. Yo querré, I will want, or I will start, or excuse me, love. And then for saber, yo sabré, I will know. So chicos, these are your list of irregulars. These same irregulars are going to work for conditional as well. The only difference is the endings. You'll just have to change the endings, but the root stays the same. They are the exact same irregulars for conditional. Let's keep moving. So here's just some examples here of the immediate future versus the future tense. I'm going to play yo voy a jugar. Yo jugaré. You are going to live. Tú vas a vivir. Tú vivirás. We are going to read. Nosotros vamos a leer. Nosotros leeremos, etc. All right, so here's the conditional. Generally, we say what would, could, or should. However, most generally, you're going to say would. You would translate these to would. These endings are going to be the exact same endings for all AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs, which is really nice. It's a super easy way to remember these. The irregulars are just the same as they were in future tense. And if you notice, ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais, ian, guess what? These are the imperfect endings as well. So all you have to do is make sure you take the whole entire verb and then you add your ending onto the end. Okay? And you know that it's not imperfect, because if it were imperfect, you'd have no AR right here, right? All right, my loves. So the other thing, well, and plus AR verbs have a different set of endings for imperfect. The other thing I'd like you to make sure you note is that ia and ia are the same. So it is imperative that you write down your subject pronouns. Always use your subject pronouns. Limpiaría la casa. I wouldn't know it was the yo form unless you saw it translated over here. I would clean the house. For reflexive verbs, I know that you're going to have some homework that has reflexives in it. You chop off the reflexive part, you bounce it to the front just as you always do, and then you just add your ia or whatever ending onto the back of it. So se despertaría is he or she would wake up early. Jugaríamos con niños, we would play with children. All right. Here is your practice. I'm going to do number 1 with you, and then we left space for numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in your notebooks. I would talk to my sister. Yo hablaría a mi hermana. And we'll do one more down here. I think I would like my job. Yo pienso que me gustaría mi trabajo. That's a hard one. I think yo pienso que me gustaría, I would like, me gustaría mi trabajo. All right, let's keep going here. Again, here are your irregulars, and what is nice about these irregulars is they are the same for future. If you notice, we just changed the endings to the conditional endings. All right, my loves, this will conclude our notes for future and conditional. If you have questions, please, please, please don't hesitate to ask me or email me. Make sure your notes are highlighted and they are neat and tidy. They have your titles, etc. And I'll see you in class tomorrow. Thanks.